Hey everyone, Nick Brokenshire here. I'm really pleased to be involved in the DIVOC-91 comic, and I want to thank Sarah, Kenny and everyone else involved for allowing me to come on board and help out. She asked me to make a wee video of my process of how I make this comic. Normally I use a hybrid of traditional materials and computer technology to make comics, but because of the quick turnaround on this particular project, I'm going to use all digital methods. So here we go, I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay folks, I think I'll start by showing you this page here. So this is page 1 of chapter 2 that I've been working on. As I said before, I'm working completely digitally, so what that means is rather than drawing that on paper and then scanning it in and putting colour on it with a computer, I'm doing absolutely all of it on the computer, right from working things out at the layout stage, through to penciling the thing, through to inking, and then I will send it off to the colorist. So let me show you how this page developed. I'll get rid of those. So originally, I'll get rid of that as well. Here's my script. This is how I normally work. So at the rough stage, when I'm sort of developing the layout of the whole thing, I have the script here. So I'll have page 1. Where are we? There we go. Page 1 here, and then I will figure out where the boxes go, where the panels are. Excuse me, my voice is going. And these scribbles you see on here are me just basically blocking out the shapes or the space needed in order to get everything in. So like these are obviously balloons here, yeah, so really that doesn't need to be understandable by anyone other than myself. Depending on the job, the roughs stage will then move on to another sort of slightly tighter rough stage for other people to be able to understand what we're looking at. But for the purposes of this, only I needed to understand it. So then after that, we went on to pencils. So here we go. Oh, hang on a second. There's the panel. So there we go. Here are the pencils. And actually these pencils are quite rough, but again, because it's only me really that's looking at this stuff, and because of the need to push it through reasonably quickly, I haven't developed the pencils too much. I've just drawn enough for me to know what's going on. You know, a certain amount of detail where it's needed, and the rest of it I can figure out at the inking stage. Now you may have noticed that it was blue before. So traditionally, when you create artwork, you'll print it out in blue, because blue is a color that can be quickly knocked out after you add black inks. So the way we tend to do it these days is like we'll make an image blue and then draw the black ink on top of it. It doesn't actually have to be blue, it can be any color now, but it's kind of the way it is now. So as far as inking is concerned, start with the old panels. So we ink the panel, and then one of the great things about working digitally is that you can work in these things called layers. So one layer is the panel borders there, and then on one layer I did all the figures, all the foreground stuff. So like if I get rid of the blue there, you'll see all the characters in the foreground there, and then if I get rid of those, you'll see that I've got the backgrounds on a completely separate layer. So that's here. So put them together and you've got everything all in one image. The good thing about doing that is that it just gives you a little bit more control in terms of perhaps later on in colouring. Excuse me. got a frog in my throat today. So yeah, so everything is on layers, and like particularly when it comes to colouring, you can do various things. So for example, say I wanted to do what's called a colour hold on the foreground inks, then I could, you know, I could change them like that slightly. I don't know if you can see that too clearly, but for now I don't want to do that. I'm going to stick with the black ink. Incidentally, we call the black parts ink because normally when you ink a page it's with black ink, so that's why it's called the inking stage. I don't know if any of you know about that sort of thing, but there you go. So what I figured, oh yeah, so now that that's done, and you can see like I've left certain areas there for the balloons. Actually, before I move on from this, one of the things about laying out a comics page, a cartoon page, is that, you know, the idea is that you're supposed to draw the eye to wherever it is you're supposed to be. So we in the West read from left to right. So the idea is that the images, as well as the balloons, the word balloons, will kind of pull your eye across the page. So you'll notice these guys are looking in that direction, and that there's kind of a line of sight with the gun, kind of in this sort of thing, and then there will be balloons here, and so then there will be a movement here to where this guy is looking, and also where the balloon will be, and then down here where there will be more dialogue, and then across to where C is going. So you get the idea, right? So there you go. Let's see, what else can I tell you here? Oh, and sometimes people will use things like this to help them with that. There are different methods of doing it. Sometimes you just eyeball it. Sometimes you can use these templates to help you place things where you feel they ought to be. Okay, so now what I'd like to do is I'd like to show you like a drawing almost from scratch. So let's get rid of this page now. You can look at that when it comes out, when it's coloured and word ballooned. Okay, so for this next part, we're going to look at page 5. I'm going to show you myself drawing a character from scratch right through to the inking stage. So I've got my script here. Here's page 5. On panel 3, it's Kalai talking to Sanda. So I want some reference for Kalai, so I'll go to where are we? Yeah, to my bits and bobs that I've got here saved up for reference. So there's Kalai. And also I've drawn him a couple of times myself, so I'll refer to my own versions of him. Here we go, there's a nice clear one. Just wait for that to open. Okay, so here's my Kalai. My Kalai. I'll just keep him down here for now. Okay, so on this bit here, I'm just fast forwarding here because the drawing that I come up with here I discarded, and then I get rid of it, and then I start a different one, or I do a different version of it. So what you're seeing here is me zipping past it up to the next bit. Okay. Okay, yeah, I don't think I'm going to go with this one. I'm going to get rid of Kalali there, and I'm going to place him in a completely different position from this fella here. So a different position would be standing further away and facing us. Now, even though that is similar to this position, this kind of situation that I've drawn before, I feel that it's necessary. It needs to be there. We need to see his face, we need to see his expression, and then I can put Sanda into the foreground, because she's going to be here all kind of upset. So perhaps we can see by putting him here, we can see him completely clearly and see him kindly talking to Sanda. So I get to draw him all over again. So here we go. Let's draw Kalali. What I'll do, I think, is I'm going to speed up now this process, because this could take a little while. So we're going to go into high speed mode. Okay, let's go. 1, 2, 3, go. Quick word about the software I'm using. It is Clip Studio Paint, previously known as Manga Studio. It really is a fantastic tool. It's quite intuitive and geared specifically for manga and comics creators. It has a lot of very, very useful tools like the perspective tools and so on. It has all the right brushes that you need. Whereas, software like Photoshop and Illustrator might have lots of uses that really you're not going to make use of as a cartoonist. Clip Studio Paint it's the one. It's fantastic. Saying that, I do try and avoid overusing or using too many things that may make my art look sterile, and it is a danger, and I have fallen into the trap of trying to make things look perfect, and you got to try and avoid that. So I do that by limiting the amount of brushes that I use. I tend to just use one brush, and I tend not to use gradients and things like that. I like to keep things simple in terms of color. Just let the line art do its work, as opposed to sometimes when you see people that use these programs, they put every single bell and whistle they possibly can onto the thing, and it kind of kills the art a little bit. Okay, so here I am drawing Kalali. I really like this character. He's got a lovely quality to him. Whoever designed, I think, did Charlie design it? I'm not sure, but they're wonderful designs. He's got such a gentle quality. I like his special non-toed boots, or his pants that go right down to the ground. I wish I had pants like that. Anyway, there's Kalali. So we're coming to the end of this particular drawing. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly did. It's been fun doing this little narration as well. Okay, I'm going to go over to Live Me now. Hey everyone, I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed making it. I think I'm going to make some more of those. Make sure you tell as many people as you can about the comic. Try and get it into the eyes of young people especially, because it's an important theme, and the messages held within are about as important as you can get. Thank you to Sarah and the team for letting me be involved. It's a real honour. Okay guys, take care, stay safe, stay inside whenever you can, and we'll see you on the other side. Ciao.